today we have my mid-80s Yamaha FG420L. First guitar I ever bought it in 1985, Owen Sound, Ontario, Canada. Today we are going to look at the fretboard because I have never done anything to this fretboard ever. I've scraped it lightly, but that's it, and it really shows. There's a lot of grime and crud on that. Yeah. Anyways, that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to try and do it without removing the strings because the strings have only got like about a couple of weeks worth on them. So I'm going to try and save them. Off to the bench. So in order to not have to remove the strings completely, we're going to put into use a capo. And we're going to put it across the strings beyond the nut. Okay, this is going to allow us to be able to keep as much tension as we can on these here strings so that they don't loosen up and bundle or anything. This will try and keep that taut while the rest of the strings are loose enough that we can remove them from the front of the fretboard so we can clean it. So we've inserted the capo beyond the nut. Now you want to loosen off the strings, but start with the lowest gauge strings first, because if you take the tension off of the large gauge strings first, then this will put extra pressure on these strings and you may take a chance at bursting them, and you don't want to do that because we're wanting to reuse these. So loosen them down till there's no tension. And the same on the other side. So what you want to do is loosen the strings just enough so that they will come out of the nut and off to the side. Once they get to that point, then we can work with them to keep them off the faceplate and not take a chance at damage them. And at the same time, the capo still holds the tension on these so that we don't jumble the spindles. So once you've got the strings loose enough that they go around the outsides of the nut, you take the extra strings like this and take a little piece of rope and underneath, up through, and much like you would tie the arms of your lover behind her back with proper consent, not just him or her. That should keep it out of the way of what we want to work on, which is the surface here. Yeah. And when you put your capo on, make sure that you pick a way in which the handle is out of the way, which it won't. Okay, can we put it up here? Ta-da! Close enough. Alright, so what we really are trying to do here is clean the surface here, and I can even feel the ridges of the patterns. Oh gosh, that's bad. Okay, where's my scraper? I have a little scraper here, and we are going to just take a metal scraper and slide it with the grain. I want to get this top surface crap off first. And then we will clean it. Because there's going to be a top layer of skin and sweat and grime and dirt all across there. If you think you're scraping the wood back too badly, stop. And be careful not to knock the nut off when you're going this way. You have to do this with great care. We're going to use some liquid to get hopefully some of that loosened up too. As I say, I got this in 84, 85, I think. Taking care of it. So it's time to get this thing a little clean up. I've got enough other guitars that this one doesn't get that much use anymore. So it should be restored while it's in light duty. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. I can see it already. Look at that crap. I don't know if you can see that or not. Dirt. Okay, let's continue on. Just do it lightly and over and over again. You want to be able to keep the fretboard smooth as possible. Then we'll get the brush and see what we can get out of the pores. Yeah, you can see it coming off. Wow. And that's the kind of crap I'm getting off of that thing. Alright, let's do a couple more frets and take a look at it. I'm still going to clean up the edges of this one, of course, too. 2 fretboards. Now I know that looks rough, but look at the difference. Once this gets treated, it's going to look a lot nicer. It looks very bad here, but it's just because all of that crap is coming off of it. Now we're getting down to the wood. Whew. But it's a lot of work. Like, that's been like 20 minutes I took to do those ones. So don't think it's a easy job. It's a lot of heavy work. And as I just found out, careful when you're trying to go around the inlays, because I could feel it touching. It didn't come off, it's smooth and everything, but I could feel the difference between the wood and it, so be careful when you're scraping around that. This is a lot of work, but look at the difference on that thing. It's going to be beautiful once I get her done. But man, oh man, that was like another 20 minutes just to do that. So this is like gonna be close to an hour more than that just to scrape it down. Then I'm gonna go over it with a cleaner, double check it. I don't think I'm gonna have to redo the scraping at all. Should just have to clean it and then hydrate it from this point. But wow, look at that. Now down in here the stuff is thicker, but it's not as engraved into the wood, so that scrapes off a lot easier. Up here it's like melded into the grains. Down here it's not so much, so you gotta, like, it's a thick layer of crap and stuff, but it's on the surface. Keep going. Okay, so she's all scraped down. Down near the bottom here, it doesn't. I was taking off the original finish more than anything, so I quit that. It just wasn't worth it. I didn't ever play down in there, so now I'm gonna clean this up really good, and then we're gonna treat it and see how she turns out. It was a lot of work. That had to be like over an hour of scraping with a metal scraper. which is also a measuring tool, of course, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But just have to be careful and watch yourself with these inlays that you don't dig them up. You have to be really careful and scrape slowly all around them. Do not go outside the lines, kids. So what you do is get yourself some nice soft cloth. This is old t-shirt material, and Didario spray cleaner. Gonna go over this, clean this up, try and get any of the deep down stuff in. What you want to do is spray the cloth, not the guitar. Shake, 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 shake. Oh. Do not do upside down. Okay. And hopefully this will bring out anything that is in the grains. We want to get everything out we can. Yes, that's the cardboard neck hook brace. Let's clean this baby up and see what comes out of it. I'm not going to make you wait through me doing this for the next 2.5 minutes, so pause. And now with a completely clean rag, this is called hydrate, and it is to hydrate your fretboard. So we're going to put that on, but remember, use a different cloth for every one of these things. Do not mix your chemicals. That's dangerous and sometimes useless, because it will do different things, so one might cancel out the other. But the biggest problem is some chemicals have reactions when they are introduced to each other, so you don't want that. Okay, let's take a look and see how we do this. Okay, looks like I put a few drops on here, and then go to the fretboard. Woo-wee. Okay. Going on nice and dark. I won't make you sit through it all because I'm going to have to rely on this cardboard box, and that's just going to make a lot of noise. So we'll see you here in just a couple of minutes after I get going and do the whole fretboard. Wow. And so she takes a nice deep rich tone. Don't know how it's going to be once it dries up, because it will eventually dry up. It's seeping into the grain right now. Okay, so there's still some gray spots here and there. What I'm thinking is it might be where I didn't completely get all the grime out, scratched out of there, and the hydrate is not able to get past it, and it creates a kind of a grayish haze. So I'm betting that that's where it still needs a lot more cleaning, but we'll see as we go along. That's all I can do for today, so that's all I can do for today. And so we will untie our little sweetheart here. Was it good for you? All sweaty and untying things. There you go. Stretch those strings. That's a girl. Oh, yeah, that's how I feel too afterwards. Okay. Let's restring you, baby. Bring you up to tune and see how you sing. So before we completely bring her up to tune, we are going to get the other rag that we used the spray cleaner with and clean the rest of the axe over. There's also a wax that can go on this one. I don't know if I'll be doing that today or not, but that's yeah, there is fumes in that stuff. Okay, by no means enough to make you have to do this outside or anything, but yeah, some people may want to. Okay, let's get this thing cleaned up. Alright, I'm gonna put you on pause. You just clean. Nothing drastic to that.